and dishonesty on the other. That's how I saw it.
Current House Speaker Mike Johnson, a Republican, says maybe the 25th Amendment could be used to remove President Biden from office for being incapacitated.
I would ask the cabinet members to search their hearts.
These Democratic voters say
he's not the perfect candidate, but Trump is a convicted criminal.
I'm not going to give up on him. I'm going to give him a chance.
The weather out there is scorching. CBS News Bay Area meteorologist Paul Hagen.
It's going to be extreme heat in the south central U.S. Excessive heat warnings and heat advisories in effect. The heat risk, which is essentially the threat of heat illness, is going to be in the high category, spreading across even more of the country as we head through the weekend.
An off-duty cop was among those killed when a vehicle crashed into a Long Island nail salon.
The community is still in shock the morning after. Some, like Mike Lozano, are stopping by to pay their respect, and someone even left flowers.
I think it's a horror story.
Police say a Chevy Traverse plowed into the busy Hawaii Nail and Spa at around 4:30 Friday afternoon. 64-year-old Stephen Schwally was charged with DWI.
4 people dead and drinking and driving. That's just a constant reminder it's not good, you know.
A 12-year-old girl was among the 10 injured. Darius Ramsey for CBS News, Long Island.
50 years ago today, one of the world's greatest dancers defected from the Soviet Union.
Mikhail Baryshnikov was on tour with the Bolshoi Ballet in Toronto, Canada, when he slipped away from his handlers. He spoke about it to our Anthony Mason 2 years ago on CBS Sunday Morning.
Does that seem a long time ago?
No, it's been very fast.
It wasn't easy for Baryshnikov to defect.
You were usually followed by KGB agents when you went, yes?
Yes, but there were guys who were a couple of guys, always you knew them by the names.
Baryshnikov married, had a family, acted in films, and now supports artists around the world. Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
There's a warning about artificial intelligence from a United Nations agency. It says AI could be used to spread misleading or false claims about the Holocaust by hate groups, which can make realistic photos that question the murder of Jews and others by Nazis. It says widespread use of AI for educational purposes could also increase the possibility that people could run into fake information. There have been concerns about AI-generated false images and sound in election ads as well. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's common knowledge that after age 30, our metabolism changes. We have less energy and gain weight easier. There's a way to feel better, not in years or months, but sometimes in just days.
I'm Chuck Norris. I tried everything. Working with a team of health experts, we came up with Morning Kick. Morning Kick is a revolutionary new formula that combines all my favorite supplements into one daily drink.
Morning Kick has probiotics to help you lose weight, prebiotics for digestion, superfoods for muscles and joints, and powerful anti-aging supplements. It'll help you feel youthful, energized, and helps manage stress.
I look and feel better than I have in years.
Go to roundhouseprovisions.com, use code SAVE, or text SAVE to 511-511 and claim 40% off. Roundhouseprovisions.com, code SAVE.
Every purchase comes with our 90-day money-back guarantee. You could be feeling these changes within just a couple of days.
Text SAVE to 511-511.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Tax fees may apply.
Hoping to go back to traveling by train on the Gulf Coast?
Plans for returning Amtrak service to the Gulf Coast may be derailed by some city leaders in Mobile. City Councilman Josh Woods is among those who oppose using taxpayers' money to help fund the passenger train service from Mobile to New Orleans.
There are pro-Amtrak comments that I've been hearing, but also, too, some of my constituents, a vast majority of my constituents, I'm kind of opposed to city subsidizing a federal Amtrak program.
The Amtrak service through Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana has been suspended since Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
A monument honoring those who survived slavery was dedicated this week in Montgomery, Alabama. The National Monument to Freedom is inscribed with the surnames chosen by formerly enslaved people after they were freed at the end of the Civil War. The nonprofit Equal Justice Initiative says it was a day to both honestly confront the brutality of slavery, but the bravery of those who didn't lose hope. Allison Keys, CBS News.
It's common knowledge that after age 30...
Got to turn on the microphone. That always helps. Broadcasting live from the palatial studios of KOKC in Oklahoma City, it's McRoof Talks Insurance. I'm Rick Allen Lippert, who was paying more attention to the live stream than anything else. I'm here with restoration specialist and Hall of Fame remodeler Scott McCollum.
Good afternoon.
Also here with me is the next generation of McRoof, HAAG-certified roof inspector Scotty McCollum.
Hi, Rick.
Running man Eric Yandale is the wizard on the other side of the glass.
Hey, Rick.
He'll answer your calls to 405-478-1520. I would say we're live streaming the show, but
you're not sure we are.
But I don't think we are, and that's why I was distracted
I'll
there.
wave anyway.
Yeah.
I can see a little corner of the screen.
Yeah, well, that's one screen. The screen that counts is black. But we are also we're live streaming on the iHeartRadio app, so you can hear us anywhere in the U.S. of A. Just search for KOKC. Act 1 of the show will start as usual with our trivia question and other interesting tidbits, including the word of the week. That number again to guess the trivia question or to just ask a question, 405-478-1520. Act 2 features Scotty's view from the rooftop. This week, a patient homeowner finally receives the settlement they deserve after initially being denied a roof replacement claim. This episode titled Persistence Prevails. Coming back from breaks, we'll have some really obscure historical trivia for you today. Then in Act 3, we'll have our After the Storm tip, brought to you by Roof RX, and we'll wrap up with Dad's Wisdom, brought to you by Energy Q. Now, the lawyer finally got my attention as well and said I have to tell you that S&CM LLC, doing business as McRoof.US, legally operates under Oklahoma registration number 8000002, and that the registration applies to both residential and commercial roofing. All right, guys, sorry about being distracted. I was trying to get us up on the internet, but I don't think we're there.
I think Scott didn't have his headset on either.
I thought I could hear it through.
He was looking
Anyway,
at the NASCAR in the back.
Anyway, let's get going with our trivia question, shall we? Scotty, I think this is yours.
It is. Today's question is, what is the current average minimum damage threshold or hail hits per test area across multiple carriers for an insurance adjuster to consider a shingle roof a total loss for hail damage?
Okay, so we're looking for a number of hail hits per test area.
That's right. That's right.
What's the size of that test area usually?
It is 10 foot by 10 foot. So, or it could be
1 square.
It could be an adapted per. If the roof plan isn't conducive to drawing a 10 foot by 10 foot area, Rick, it could be a 5 by 20 area.
Okay.
If it's a more narrow
it's 100
facet
square
of the roof.
feet.
100 square
it's
feet.
approximately. It's supposed to be as close to 100 square feet as possible.
So, we're looking for a number of obvious
hail
damage.
impacts. Yes.
Hail damage hits.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not just a little mark, but damage.
Well, we've talked about the differences between
we're really muddy in the water,
marring and damage in the past, but hail damage in a 10 foot by 10 foot area or approximately 100 square feet.
Okay, so if you think you know that magic number, give us a call, 405-478-1520. 405-478-1520. The winner will get 2 free tickets to the remaining show of Carpenter Square Theater. We opened the show last night. It's called Lifespan of a Fact. Deals with how important are those facts in journalism? Do they have to be really true or kind of true? Anyway, the play runs for 3 more weekends, and so the winner of the trivia question will get 2 free tickets for that. 405-478-1520.
Okay.
Very nice.
All right. Our word of the week, Scotty.
Today's word of the week is perhaps dating back to y'all's KTOK days, I bet y'all talked quite a bit about this.
Say,
What?
another radio station.
No. I'm getting a call from the FCC. We're off the air. We can't do that.
Okay, so from
Indemnification.
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 All right. And what is that?
The act of indemnifying, meaning that one party agrees to pay losses for the loss of another or a third party.
Okay.
It can also apply to the condition of being indemnified, being the recipient end of indemnification.
So what we deal with all the time in insurance, the principle of indemnity, to restore, to make whole from an economic standpoint, restore to a pre-loss condition.
Okay.
Okay.
Understand that.
And it's one of the things that creates a lot of issues for us in working through these claims. Our attempt is to always achieve that point where the client, our client, the insurance company's client, is indemnified for their loss. And that's why the entire process of supplementation and rewriting of estimates and all the things that we have to do, it's all in an effort to achieve that indemnification. Okay? So,
And it's getting harder and harder each year that passes.
It is.
Why is that?
Well, we talk about, there are a lot of reasons for it. One of the things that we deal with, in a lot of cases, we deal with very inexperienced and poorly trained adjusters in the field. We deal with people who have been given instruction to not pay attention to certain things that they should be being paid.
That was a very crafty way.
That diplomatic?
Very crafty way of phrasing that.
Wasn't that diplomatic? We deal with folks who have been given instruction that makes it very, very difficult for them to write a claim in such a manner that the insured, their client, would have in fact been indemnified.
Oh.
I can give you a lot of examples of that. We were on a roof this past week and having a conversation with the adjuster, who explained all the things that they can no longer do that they used to do. Okay? She was explaining to me that they cannot write a claim for a shingle grade. You know, there are various grades and qualities of shingles out there.
Right.
She cannot write a claim for anything other than a standard architectural shingle. In other words, low end of the scale, the spectrum, okay, without a report from ITEL, which is a testing agency that will test the shingle and report back as to what a comparable replacement shingle would be. Okay, so the particular roof we were on, we knew that was, in the old vernacular, a 40-year shingle. Well, she will write the claim as a 30-year shingle because she does not have a report from the testing agency saying that it is a 40-year shingle. Well, if you write a claim summary for a 30-year shingle replacement, okay, and they had a 40-year shingle replacement, they have not been indemnified.
Correct.
Okay?
Yes.
They're not getting paid for what they're entitled to.
Oh, my goodness.
And so that is just one example of the kinds of things that we have to deal with on that.
Oh, yeah.
And then we won't even get into all the ordinance or law or code coverage things that we deal with, where the insurance company knows exactly what the situation is, but they still will not include that in that initial claim summary. They have to wait and want to see the work being performed and the photographs and the pricing and everything on that before they'll include it to get close to that indemnification. So,
well, let's come back and revisit all of this in a minute. But first, we have Stacy on the line. And Stacy,
Do you want to take a shot at the trivia question?
Sure. Per square, currently the average is about 8. I've heard that some of the insurance companies are moving to 10 to 12, but I haven't experienced that yet.
Well, Stacy, that's a good, close answer. I don't want to give it away too soon, but this was really a trick question in a way. I had 7 because I see a lot of insurance companies that I see one particular that still that is moving to 12. I see some that require one particular independent adjusting firm that works for a lot of big name carriers that looks for 10. I see some that look for as few as 5 and others that look for 6.
So, Eric, ring the bell. We're going to
give you those tickets.
Yeah, we're going to give Stacy the tickets, and thank you for playing our little game. Scotty was trying to trick you there, Stacy. But the bottom line is... You got pretty close, Stacy.
Yeah,
it's... I would have said 8, quite honestly. Scotty wrote this question. I would have said 8. But I'm not on near as many roofs as Scotty is on with adjusters, and you know, if it's 7, it's 7. Somewhere between 7 and 10 is the realistic range, I think, for most of the insurance companies.
I will say it's much less likely to see an adjuster these days looking for 7.
Okay.
These days, I'm looking to see if adjusters bounce, honestly. Throwing them off the roof.
Well, you might be in a similar line of work to us, Stacy.
I think I am.
Well,
all right, Stacy, stay on the line. Give Eric your email address, and I will make sure you get 2 free tickets to Carpenter Square Theater, and I hope you enjoy the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stacy. We appreciate you. Have a good day. All right. So anyway, I remember 15, 20 years ago, the number was pretty much 8. Okay. Then the number got crazy. Okay. The number got to be 10, 12, just higher and higher and higher. And then somewhere along the way, maybe after we got through the change in the shingle technologies and everything else in 2012, things kind of settled down a little bit. It got back down into that, 8, 7, 8, 9 range, something like that. So again, it is very subjective, and it varies from insurance company to insurance company. And the thing that we can't count on, just because we knew exactly what an insurance company's criteria was last year or last storm, the next storm that hits, they may have a totally different criteria than what they had before. Kind of sounds like the rules in my first marriage.
How'd that work out for you, Rick?
Well, I said my first marriage.
Hey, I've had one of those too.
That's pretty good. I mean, like I told her, I'm willing to play by the rules. The rules as I was last told, but now that the rules have changed, anyway, you have a home show coming up the first weekend of August. Tell me about that.
Well, we do have, and we're really looking forward to that home show because we've got something new to show people.
Okay.
We're going to be, obviously, we'll have our certainty lineup there. But what we really want to talk to people about and let them be introduced to is the integrated solar technology.
Ooh, I can't wait.
That we've got available from Certainty. We have the ability that really hasn't existed before and does not exist with any other solar option that people might have, okay? To be able to take and have your asphalt shingle roof and your integrated solar installation all installed by one contractor with one warranty from a 350-year-old company, a 125-year-old company in the United States, the gold standard for warranties and technology certainty. So that's what we're really excited about. Look forward to showing that to people at the show.
And more about that later. Let's take our first break now. I'd like to remind you, everyone, you're listening to McRoof Talks Insurance on KOKC AM 1520, FM 95.3. We're not currently on the YouTube channel right now, but we are live streaming on the iHeartRadio app, so you can listen to us anywhere in the U.S. of A. When we come back, we'll have Scotty's view from the rooftop and some really obscure historical trivia.
Talk radio's new generation, KOKC.
I'm Scott McCollum, and I am McRoof. Don't let that big out-of-pocket expense on your roof claim stand between you and the new roof that you want and need. I'll finance your deductible, non-recoverable depreciation, or your upgrades over 12 to 24 months. No third-party financing, no hassle, in-house financing by McRoof. Call Carly today at 855-766-3405 for details. McRoof.us, where every replacement is a replacement done right.
Homer Stacy was a wholesome, good American kid from Texas. At the age of 18, he enlisted in the United States Army and was stationed at Fort Bliss, Texas. Homer was fascinated with aircraft, so he went to flight school and became an Army Air Corps pilot. Homer Stacy was the pilot of a Convair B-24 Liberator, the Yankee Doodle Dandy. November 11, 1943, Homer and his crew, along with 31 other bombers, flew a mission to destroy a ball bearing plant in occupied France. On the return trip, a mechanical failure caused the plane to drop out of formation, leaving the Yankee Doodle Dandy vulnerable, and shortly thereafter, 7 German Me-109 shot the plane down near Andano, Italy. 4 crew members were killed on board. The others parachuted. 1 was captured and taken prisoner. Homer was among the remaining 5 who made it to Switzerland and returned to duty. Homer Stacy survived World War II, the Korean War, and retired after 21 years of service with numerous awards and citations, not to mention the Purple Heart. Homer Stacy. Homer Stacy McCollum. Scott McCollum's dad. Scott McCollum is McRoof. McRoof is owned and operated by the McCollum family, an honorable, trustworthy red, white, and blue family. If you want to improve or repair your property, call 855-766-3405. Ask for a no-cost roof assessment and home inspection. That's McRoof, 855-766-3405. That's McRoof.
Folks, Roof RX is our inspect, repair, and maintain company. Everyone who went through the 90-mile-an-hour winds the other night probably ought to have a qualified inspector on their roof to see what the situation is now. Those winds could have lifted shingles, they could have pulled nails and fasteners loose, they could have displaced metal flashings and other things that would allow water to get into your property. If it's not an issue right now, it may become an issue more over time. Something needs to be looked at. So get us out there, take a look at your roof, get a qualified inspection from one of my certified credentialed inspectors. Let's see if anything needs to be done on your roof to get you taken care of, get you through the next storm season, the next winter cycle. That's the next thing we'll be looking at right now. And if you need to file an